Right, first of all, guys, before we get into this episode, if you are listening on Spotify, please go ahead and rate us in the app. Really helps us out. Make sure you follow it as well. And if you're listening on YouTube, we'd really appreciate if you could drop a like on the video, subscribe if you liked it, and do drop a comment on anything you might disagree or agree with. Today we're talking about holidays, aren't we? And I was sat there like naked, watching like fucking, I don't know, bloody Kung Fu Panda or something. A bloke walks into my room.
What?
Jen, mate.
Who was he?
I don't bloody know, mate.
Well, did you not ask?
Steve!
Come on in! And I said, I'm staying in a place called Ballymun. Sounds really nice. Sounds like a couple of cheese shops. But the look of shock on his face when I told him. He said, "You're not staying in Ballymun." I was like, "I am." He said, "Fucking hell. You don't know anything, do you?" I was like, "Jesus Christ, where am I going?"
Me and my mate Ryan, we were like, "Oh, God, what we did?" And this prostitute just comes over and she's like, you want to have a good time? You want to have sex? Right. I was like, "No, thank you. All good here. Everything's fine." And she spits on me.
Another day, another hangover.
Is it that bad, Ted?
Yeah.
I asked for one thing today, didn't I? I said, "Ted, don't come to the podcast hungover because I'll be really mad." Also, big apologies, I think, on the fact that there is a lot of road noise. There might be a lot of road noise.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. Can anyone hear the road noise? I don't know if anyone's answering to this. This is irrelevant, isn't it?
You just hear it?
No complaints. Excellent.
Yeah. I have moved. I've moved flat. As we can see, it's lovely.
Lovely little place.
We're sat in a bay window, very pretentious.
Apart from the carpet.
Apart from the carpet, yeah.
Shocking.
That's not that bad.
No, it's not that bad.
Yeah, it's slate. You can't just come in a man's property and slate his carpet, Ted. It's out of order.
Yeah, fair enough.
I think there's lines we can cross, and you've just crossed one. How are you?
Like I said, you the devil's in the detail. What you said yesterday was, please don't. It was a request. It wasn't an order. And so I went out last night and I got fucking buried.
Nice.
Yeah.
Cool. How old are you, sorry? Yeah. Cool. We won't cross that because it's just a bit of a...
embarrassment.
Yeah. Yeah. No, not embarrassment. It's just an eye-opener, isn't it, Ted? An eye-opener, we'll call it. Do you know what I miss? I was thinking about this the other day. Primary school.
Why?
Do you remember primary school, like, parties? No, I don't know if you had these up north because of...
We didn't have schools, yeah.
Infrastructure and whatnot. But like a primary school party, do you remember like a swimming party? Do you know what I mean? Like where like the kid and their family, they'd hire out the swimming pool and you get all the floats and you go.
No.
Do you not?
No, I don't remember.
Interesting.
No, we did. So we had we had a leisure centre which I want to go to, and I think my stepdad taught me how to swim by throwing me off the top of a inflatable hippo in the pool.
Nice. Good that that's on loud, whatever that was.
That's my battery dying on my laptop.
Nice. Yeah. Class.
Dying, it's at a quicker rate than I am. Which is weird.
Yeah, but I just think that primary school parties were sick, weren't they? Do you remember the party bags? And you got like a little piece of shit cake in...
I do remember party bags, yeah.
Also, cake. That's a topic. That's a thing, actually, that I've just thought of. You know when you're in like a cafe...
Simple little things.
Especially like an artisan...
Cake! That's another little thing I'd thought of.
Cake? You know when you're in like an artisan coffee shop, we'll say.
I'm going to go deep into the artisan coffee shop on you.
So you know when you're in one and you get a cake, or even just a bakery, a normal shop, and they give you the cake and you always get a serviette, which is nice.
You know how I feel about artisan coffee shops.
So how is it interrupting me all the time? I'm just curious.
Well,
how is it? Is it all right? Joking. A bit of hostility there from me. Apologies. And they give you the cake and they give you a serviette, and then they always put the cake on top of the serviette. Do you know that? Have you noticed this?
That's retarded.
Like, they go, here's this thing to clean yourself with, whilst we get it shit muddy for you to do so with. So then you're just cleaning yourself with, you know...
This has really been preying on your little mind, hasn't it?
It's fucking annoying, mate, isn't it?
That's
like somebody wiping their ass with the toilet roll and then putting it back in.
That's why I use my sleeve.
This is... It is though, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I just think it's the most backward situation. Why would you put the cake on top of the serviette that I want to clean myself with?
I feel like you've got this off your chest now, and I feel like you might sleep well tonight from that. Yeah. Maybe.
This red bush is going down a tree.
Oh, fucking come on.
Decaffeinated?
Yeah, I've got the worst heartburn in the world.
It's hot today, innit?
Yeah, it's really warm.
Bloody hell, mate.
What have you been doing this week?
Moving. Yeah, mate, it's just weird moving.
You haven't just been moving. You've been about. You've been on the road a bit.
A little bit, yeah. Bath, Birmingham, nothing crazy.
I had quite a funny time in Leicester.
Yeah.
So I had a meeting, and so I work sort of in sales, and I got in there. If anyone who's in sales, there was this bloke in there, and I walked in. He was the salesman. he was the salesman. So I walked in. The director wasn't there, and immediately sort of he coyed me, and he just had this weird thing where he thought I was trying to have the pants down, which I wasn't. You know, so for anyone out there, I was selling websites and bits and pieces, marketing, and I got in there, and this bloke. He was like 60 years old, about 60 stone. He had one of those shirts on that you get when you get to that sort of size and age, which is like a picnic blanket.
Oh, I see why you struggled with the meeting now, because it was like, fuck, that's looking into a mirror in 30 years.
Yeah. Fuck you. And it's like his gut hanging out, and I was like, how is this bloke a salesman? Like, the only thing he could sell is tickets to the exit. Like, getting away from it. He's awful. He was just awful. He had like 3 teeth, and he had this weird sort of incredulous look on him. He was sort
hey mate, 3's better than none.
Yeah, he just sort of sat there and like trying to dress me down. I was like, so what do you get out of this? I was like, what do you mean, what do I get out of this? I was like, I'm trying to sell you a website. It's nothing new. You and your newfangled ideas coming in here trying to sell us. Well, everyone's got one.
I do get commission, yeah.
Yeah, I could have said that. Yeah. What else have I been up to this week?
Just being a loser, I think.
Yeah, went out last night.
That was unprovoked. I apologise.
Yeah. I don't really think I've been up to a lot, to be fair. It's been pretty tame.
No, yeah. I actually just did come back from a little trip to Dartmouth. My mum bought like this...
Dartmouth?
It's like it's the new Sith Lord.
Dartmouth.
No, I went to, Dartmouth. My mum got this... I'm not gonna. I hate the word, but it proper was bougie little kind of like house on
really
on the cliff,
nice.
and like looking
really
out onto
nice.
the River Dart, and it was just absolutely gorgeous. But there's this thing, especially in small seaside towns. We've touched on small seaside towns a lot, haven't we? Small seaside towns. And there's this argument not an argument, but this debate that I keep on having with my mum and my dad separately.
Small seaside towns, not like
I come from a broken family.
Right.
They're divorced, but they're both like this generation, this age generation of they're like so cash. They're like cash. Yeah, sure, you got to have cash on your old times.
Well, this is bullshit, isn't it? Because they always they say you should manage your cash better, but they all bought the houses for like 20 quid.
I know.
Back in the day, they're absolutely living it up.
Yeah. Anyway,
Old
my mum's like, you always got to carry cash because some places don't accept card. And I was like, well, especially since the pandemic, my love, all right? Places actually are probably more against cash than card, aren't they?
Yeah,
apart from the tax evaders.
Oh, there's loads of places where we won't accept cash anymore.
But a lot of places that still will, and they're obviously the people who are just snugging it under the rug, kind of the money.
What about crypto? Do you think?
Well, there was a club in Weston who only accepted cash, wasn't there? I'm not going to out it because it's not fair, but.
Oh, it's a place where you get you instead of it's a really weird one.
It was. I'll say it to you now, and we'll beep it out. But it was.
Yeah, and you get instead of when you pay to get in, and they swap your tenner for beans.
Beans, yeah, you get. So there's this club in Weston-super-Mare, which is a seaside town near where we live. We don't live there. Can we just clarify that? And essentially, yeah, you pay a tenner and you get 10 beans, and each drink is essentially a bean, isn't it?
You feel like an absolute child just paying with beans.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Yeah.
Right.
But every flavour?
Can I just pay with cash? No, you got to use beans.
Yeah.
No cash here, beans only.
Yeah, imagine if it was just Heinz as well.
It's just fucking covered in shit.
Tomato-y.
Cheers. Slop. Yeah.
That was such a weird scenario. But yeah, I keep arguing with my mum. Like, she's like, you need cash. So I just started keeping count of like how many places only accepted card. And there was actually one thing that only accepted cash, and that was this man, this like obviously independent man who would ferry people across the river. I was just a bloke, like a fisherman. Like he's not going to have a fucking
down in Dartmouth.
Yeah,
sounds like something out of like Greek mythology.
Yeah, or like Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Like would you
one
travel?
gold coin. Yeah, would you travel
to the end of the earth? Nah, but it's just so weird. I think they swear by cash, and my mum always carries loads of cash. So if you're a burglar, you know where to go. Huh?
Seaside towns, they're always really, really nice on the boulevard, and then they're always like it's always like swept under the rug in it. They're always a shithole. I was fine.
Have you got dementia? Because you said that exact thing last time.
Did I?
Mate.
Yeah. No, that's the hangover kicking in. Yeah, sorry.
Also, I've stopped getting ID'd now.
You have?
Yeah.
Right.
It's getting quite sad. It's quite hard to talk about, actually.
I don't even carry ID anymore.
Yeah, see, that's what I'm getting to the
I
point.
do actually. Sometimes I do get ID if I go into a club and I'm wearing a hat.
I know.
They get the hat
off.
It's my favourite little joke. They always go, my ID? They always go, sorry, can you see your ID? And I go,
you take the hat off.
And they go, in you go, pal. And I'm like, it's actually quite self-deprecating.
Yeah, but that's the best form of comedy.
Yeah,
self-deprecation.
Yeah. Do you remember? Just on bouncer. Do you remember you used to do that thing when you were younger? And I mastered the art of this. When you were too young to go in the club, like days when when they weren't so hot on ID. And you do that thing where and it's so obvious as well, bouncers must see it a mile off, when you try and get pally with the bouncers before you try and make your way in. So you do that thing, like, you caught them a little bit, don't you?
Any cool gigs? Like,
oh, dude, mate, busy in there tonight, is it? Yeah, crazy, yeah.
That's ruined it. You know, the one thing that you've had to do since turning up here is probably turn that on silent. I made you coffee, set it up.
I mean, you did make me coffee.
Do you want to wank you off too after? You know? Is that something that's on the list?
Ooh, that is a strong old coffee.
Okay. Yeah, I do know. Like, you'd ask, I've always wanted to be a bouncer. What's that? How'd you get into it? What'd you do? How'd you get into it? Did you do any cool gigs? Met any cool people? Nice. Right, you want to come on in, mate? ID. What? Come on. You know?
Yeah.
What do you think I've started building this rapport up for?
But you do that thing that you go, oh, ID, like you're shot like you shouldn't.
Yeah. Oh, God, I don't even know where it is.
Do you still take those? Do you still need ID these days? And you're like some little preppy kid with like a bit of bum fluff on your face. And like, oh, really? Oh, no. Oh,
voice cracking.
Left it at home because I don't usually need it.
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, mate.
There was a nightclub up north in Ripon. It was like, I think it was voted. It's gone now, so I can say it's called the Matrix or Slies. It used to be called Slies nightclub. It was awful, but it was our awful. It was good. Like everyone went there on like Friday, Saturday, and it was open. I think it was open on Thursday as well. There's an army barracks nearby as well, so it was open on like weird days. It was quite a small town, but so when they all came out from R&R, they'd all go there. But it was voted the worst nightclub, I think, 2 years in a row in England.
Nice.
Yeah, I think something like that.
Hey, mate. It's an achievement.
It was an achievement.
You know?
Yeah. If anything, that probably got them more business because people are like, the worst nightclub. Yeah, how shit can it be?
Yeah.
But like,
it's not like food. Where
I've definitely been in worse ones. I've definitely been in worse ones. But it had it was stupid, really. But you go in there and the whole dance floor, and it's bigger than this room. You can't see this room. Was revolving. The whole thing was revolving, and
that's the last thing you want.
And it had exactly, and it had a podium in the middle that people used to like get up. It's like scaffolding in the middle, and it's massive. It was like 20 meters across, something like that. It's fucking huge, big dance floor. So if it gets really busy in there, what you're doing, you're stumbling around. If you have 1 foot on it, 1 foot off it, that gets interesting.
Yeah. Involuntary splits.
Yeah.
Like, do you know what I was just thinking when you were saying that? Like, you know when you're in an elevator, and you are going up, it's a long one specifically, and you get out and you still feel like you're in it a bit, and you've got that motion, and it's still delayed in your mind. If you have that, a constantly spinning thing, and you're on it all night, then you come up. Surely when people leave the club, there's just 40 odd people just walking in circles. Just they can't get home.
I just thinking about nightclubs. Actually, it was quite a funny story from. I went to this place in Clifton in Bristol. I don't know if I told you about this. And it's like a really studenty place to do this thing. It's like 10 before 10 ciders. It's like they only sell it in like small things like that. So I went in there once and I was like, how bad can it be? And obviously I didn't even make it to the end. It's horrendous. It's a really strong cider. They have in these small glasses, and it's packed full of students. Like they always go in there. So there's just people.
Sometimes a good or a bad thing.
Yeah. So we went in there. Yeah. Anyway, the barman was talking to us outside, and just purely, and I shit you not, purely as a sort of fleeting comment, I went, I bet you get loads of people throwing up, and I bet it's me with all the students doing the 10 before 10. As I was saying that, like a minute later, a guy walks out and throws up in the doorway of the pub.
It's like you planned it.
Yeah, wait there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and then so the barman was like, for fuck's sake. So I went in, gets a mop. This is it. Starts mopping. You couldn't write this. Starts mopping up the sick, and then as he's doing that, a girl comes out and throws up on the mop that he's mopping up with. I was like, mate, and the thing is, it's just his reaction was the best thing of all. He just went. He didn't even react. He went. It's so funny. She was oblivious as well. She just waddled off down the street. Like,
oh no!
So good.
What are the chances as well in that exact spot? That's horrific. I actually like most students who come to Bristol are actually really nice.
It's a bit of a sweeping comment.
I do. I like what? Why?
I don't know. It's just like all students that come to Bristol are nice. How many students
most.
do you speak to?
I mean, most. Well, you see a lot on a night out. It's a student-heavy city, isn't it? Yeah. Bristol. It's very like 2 universities.
Do you find
too popular
I
universities?
think they're always like students are often like treated as guinea pigs a bit, aren't they? As well, they always get like I've noticed in like when there's like a really rough area in a city or a town or wherever the uni is, because it's cheap and like you can like so for example, there's an area called St Paul's here, which was known for being quite run down for a few years, and Easton, but the houses are massive there, but it was like a bit of a hole, and they put students into it because they've got like someone will buy the house for fuck all, do it a multiple occupancy, rent it out to loads of students, but weirdly then that then builds up the area because then it attracts like commerce and so little cafes and little things pop up. Like now Easton's like really up and coming. I'm pretty convinced it's because they've injected loads of students into it. They have sacrificed the students, get them in there. If they make it out, it'll be a good one. I don't know. It's a weird one.
So we're talking right, we're moving into Breaking the Seal. This is the Breaking the Seal section of the podcast. If you're a regular viewer, you'll know what this is, and now I sound like a radio presenter for some reason. Hi! Or the guy on the waltzes, scream if you want to go faster.
Do you remember the DJ, come on!
Who the fuck was that?
Yeah, on the keyboards.
And then someone else will go, DJ! Forgot about that. Anyway, this is Break the Seal, the section where we talk about, this is the topic, basically, the main meat of the show. Today we're talking about holidays, aren't we, Ted? It's getting that season, it's summertime, and people are wanting to get out in the sun. It's getting a bit hot even in this country at some points, which is a rarity, as everybody in England knows. Holidays, big topic, we all love them, but there are some... Shut up out there. There are some slightly, trivial parts to it as well. There's annoying parts, there's great parts. I'm sure you've got anecdotes. God knows you do.
Do you know? When it comes to holidays, I am actually ill-equipped because the only holidays I've really been on is stag do's.
So you've had just piss-up experiences.
Tragic, really. I mean, I've done loads of UK-based. I've been to Wales. No, I've been literally. I can count on one hand. I've been to Prague. I've been Poland, I've been to France, and I've been to Ireland, and and Budapest, Hungary.
What have I done? I've done New York. That's probably the biggest one I've done, though. To be fair, New York. I've done Germany, Berlin, obviously Paris.
Aren't you part German?
I am. I'm quarter German. Yeah. I've done Berlin. I've done also the south of France. But then I've also done obviously. Where else have I done? Italy, Milan.
All over the shop.
Not really. No, I mean next year is going to be a crazy year. I'm definitely, me and the boys, madly into country music. We're going to do south of...
God, don't tell me, don't remind me.
We're going to do southern states of the US.
That's so tragic. Are you going to wear all the apparel, all the stuff?
Mate. How's that tragic? What's your hobby? Okay.
Country road.
Yeah, legit, mate. Except it will not be taking us home. We're taking us into the depths of probably imminent racism. And horrible people.
You and your fucking mates in the car all wearing your.
Bro, we're going to hire like a pickup truck. It's going to be sick.
You're going to wear stirrups,
mate. Am I?
The little spinny wheel things? Is that stirrup? No, it's not stirrups. It's the little wheel things.
That's what you put your feet into. Stirrups.
No. Yeah. So that's on the horse. What's the little spinners on your back? Little spinners.
I know what you mean, though.
Yeah. I've been to very few places, to be fair, and I don't remember any of them. So.
Yeah. I mean, it's a big year next year. Like I said, me and Nick are going to do Asia for a few months, and me and the boys are going to do the States, which will be nice. I'm not in a rush to go back to the States, but I just do love I just really want to live in the country vibe. Like I said, we love it. We absolutely love it.
I know it's a bit of a tangent, but a second ago you said you were quarter German.
Yeah.
It's just been playing on my mind a little bit.
Okay, right. Are you about to be prejudiced as fuck?
No, I'm not. People say that. This is a question more than anything. People say that. Oh, I'm a third Bangladesh. I'm a fifth this, and I'm a quarter British. I'm a quarter this, and you're like, are you though? Does that?
Yeah.
No, because, and this is my argument. Where you were born is where you are from, right?
Yeah.
So you might have. No, I'm getting myself in tangles here, aren't I? Because you would obviously have traits from someone if you.
Well, I mean, we're all very mixed humans, aren't we? In terms of nationality.
But it's like for example, the very first people on the planet apparently were in Africa, weren't they?
Were they?
Apparently. So And if they migrated to somewhere else, you would say they were from Africa, irrespective. But so why does that then change? So now, if you're born in England, why would you be? You know, if you're born in, I don't know. Yeah, if you're born in England,
I think it
doesn't
depends on
matter
how
where you live
early it happens in your life and where the majority of your life has been spent so far.
Do you reckon?
So if I lived in England for 5 years, I was born and I lived in England for 5 years, but then when I was 5 years old, I moved to France. But then by the time I've passed that threshold of being in France for more than 5 years, I'll be like, well, I'm from France.
Yeah, but
really.
on a technicality, you are from somewhere. If you've come from there, then you are from there.
Yeah, but then if you spent the majority of your life somewhere,
if you're like in the army, for example, and you were born, like as my mate was in Germany, and then moved to like England the next day,
yeah,
you know, you're still.
Yeah.
Are you well, the question is, are you German?
I'm not German. So
no, not you. If you're born in Germany,
I wasn't born
for like
in Germany.
an hour. And then you're born for an hour. Well, I don't know how that works.
Yeah, and then go back in.
But yeah. Oh, that was nice. But if you're born in Germany and then like literally within like 5 hours, whatever, you came to the UK.
Yeah.
Are you German?
No.
It's probably really.
I mean, you would be on paper.
Nationality, yeah.
On paper, you would be, but I don't really. The thing is, you're just born on a rock, aren't you? Like,
yeah.
You've got no right to anywhere. You're just kind of lucky wherever you land. Well, sometimes you're unlucky, but you know what I mean? Like, there's no right to a rock. You haven't got a right to it. Yeah. You don't have a say on a lot of I think anybody can just live anywhere and you can just...
I like that idea, but it's this is something I was going to say actually a while ago. I think we spoke about this, where who has the right to, like, for example, you know these billionaires who buy islands,
yeah,
and then they just close them off and they just have like fucking swimming pools and helipads and mansions on there. But if you were to like swim to that island and jump on it, they'd be like, no, this is my island. Like, whose right is it to give them that island in the first place? Like,
why is their property?
How are they allowed to?
Who did they buy it from?
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? Who had it in the first place?
Well, I guess it would go back to
it's like when Kanye West said, I'm going to buy the earth.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, how can you do that? Like, no one owns it. Anyway,
they sell off bits of like the moon and shit. Don't they? There's people. Like, how can you?
There's that sick company actually who people do ads for, where you can buy a bit of land in Scotland and it makes you a lord or a lady.
Yeah. I quite like that. That's hilarious.
Anyway, that was completely off topic.
I would like to know what.
But yeah, essentially, I don't think I'm immediately well travelled. Hopefully, that will change next year. I've done quite a few places, but nothing out there. I haven't been travelling or nothing.
Yeah, if you off the beaten path, there's difference in it. Because, for example, I'm off to Alicante for another fucking stag do in 2 weeks' time, and I mean, we might as well.
You're going to Benidorm.
Yeah, I'm off to. Fair enough.
He's done this twice now. He tried to oversell it with Alicante. We're flying into Alicante and then we're going to Benidorm.
But isn't Alicante the? Isn't Alicante like the place, like Benidorm is the county, whatever it is?
I can't wait to cut that
I'm breaking down. Help!
You know when you're going on, you know what I really hate about holidays,
right?
Is the couple? There's these couples, and I fucking promise that I'm not one of them.
God, I hate
There's
couples.
these couples that talk like this. They're like, when they come back from holiday, they'll be like, oh, we had a great time, didn't we, Dave? Didn't we? And then, yeah. Oh, we saw the flamenco dancers. They were amazing. Dave, weren't they amazing? Yeah, they were amazing. Like, they need confirmation from their partner to like say how good it was. Like, as if we didn't believe you. As if I would have sat opposite them and gone, I don't believe you. But then when she asked Dave, wasn't it Dave? Yeah. Oh, fucking hell. Must have been all right then. Jesus Christ. I hate people that talk like that. Like, oh, it was good, wasn't it? Yeah, did you like? Yeah, good. Fucking annoys me.
You're not getting much confirmation from Nick on your holidays.
No.
You get back.
Not just holidays, mate. Yeah. Are you... That was so cute.
So I've had a few experiences with holidays, but one thing I have got a lot of experience with is hotels. In the UK, the hotel experience. I stayed in a travel lodge in Loughborough 2 days ago.
I love travel lodges.
Yeah, you pay for what you get. It's exactly what it says on the tin.
That's why they're good.
That's why there's
like McDonald's.
Although I would say there is two things that really fuck me off about travel lodges and Premier Inns and all the other ones. Is whose idea was it to put the plug sockets at the other side of the room to the bed? What the fuck is wrong with you?
They're obviously going through some sort of self-development phase.
No, I don't know.
Have your phone next to your bed.
I don't think you were thinking it. I think it was just
Be zen in the travel lodge.
I've genuinely moved the bed around in the travel lodge before to be next to the
Can you do that? They're not nailed, bolted.
Yeah, no, I'll wrench it out, fucking have that. But then also, the other thing is when you get into bed and it's like a straight jacket.
Yeah.
Fuck
yeah.
me. Trying to pull those sheets out is a workout.
And like you're like kicking it out, and you're like,
but you never do it straight away. Like I always end up pulling the duvets and out of the mold it's been set in. But I don't do it for the first 2 hours. I try and live with it, and it's just weird. I don't like that sort of emptiness.
I also hate it when they fucking nail 2 single beds together.
Yeah,
and I feel like
what is that
I'm getting
about?
sucked into the earth.
Yeah.
And there's like this central bit, isn't there? And you're like,
and those horrible little kettles that you have.
The tiny ones. And
Yeah.
You get them out the cupboard and you got to plug them in.
Yeah. And it's you look in there and it's like a fucking snow globe of like limescale.
And they sound like an absolute eruption.
Yeah,
and obviously there's no extraction, so there's steam everywhere. And you're like, just for a cuppa.
I do think I always like wonder. There's a story. I want to find this actually. There's a story of a bloke who owned a hotel. I think it was in America. And for like 20 years he owned this hotel, and he had he built a viewing platform into the roof across all of the rooms. So for like 20, he observed people for like 20 years in their rooms.
That sounds weird.
Really weird. Great idea.
Oh, I thought you just thought he made a nice little view, and now he's looking into people's rooms.
Yeah, he was looking down into that. He could we'll have to search it, but he got found out after like 20 something years.
20 years.
Yeah, he's been watching people what they've been up to.
That guy. Do you remember that guy at Bristol Zoo who was just charging people for?
I don't know if that's a myth.
No, it wasn't. It was on the
news. Are you
news.
sure? It was. I don't know if it was. I think
it was on the news.
No,
there was a guy for ages just charging people for parking.
I'm sure I've heard this has been busted as a wife tale.
So what this is there was a man at Bristol Zoo, and he was essentially just charging people. He was wearing a high vis and he was charging people for parking, even though parking was actually free. And apparently he was doing it for years. Might be a myth, might not be. What are you like in the airport? Are you a rusher? Are you a panicker? Are you like, let's get to the fucking gate? What are you like?
I always rock up way too late because they always like checking unreasonably. Yeah, sorry, my phone's ringing. They always ask you to check in about 7 decades before you need to. I had a bit of a panic experience once when I went to Dublin. Oh God,
going to Dublin tomorrow?
Are you? Nice. I flew out to Dublin for work once. And I had a credit card, and I was supposed to book. So I was working there, and I needed to pick up a car and drive up to Belfast the next day. And I didn't have my credit card. Ryanair, we'll get onto that in a minute, fucked me over completely. So I had to book another flight.
A blessing and a curse, Ryanair.
Oh God, they're disgusting. They are the worst people on the planet.
But you'll still fly with them.
You'll still fly with them every day. But I got to Dublin. On the airplane out there, I was like. Sat next to this Irish kid, and he said, "Oh, where I'm not going to do the Irish accent." He said, "Where are you staying to?"
So you did the Irish accent.
I did the Irish accent. And I said, I'm staying in a place called Ballymun. It sounds really nice. Sounds like a couple of cheese shops and a church.
Ballymun.
It's Ballymun. It just sounds like a nice little Ballymun, really nice little village. It's just north of Dublin, just south of the airport, and It's awful. It was one of the worst places I've ever stayed.
Really?
Yeah, well, the look of shock on his face when I told him, he said, "You're not staying in Ballymun." I said, "I am." He said, "No, you're not." I said, "I am." He said, "Oh, don't go out."
Don't
go
out.
Seriously. And then, so I got off the airplane, got to Dublin airport, and the taxi driver was outside, and I asked him, the first one refused to take me there, and the second one said, "Where are you going to?" And I said, "Ballymun." And he did the exact same thing. "You're not going to Ballymun, are you?" I was like, "I am." He's like, "Fucking hell, you don't know anything, do you?" I was like, "Jesus Christ, where am I going?" And for some,
I hate it when you go somewhere and you find out after you're there.
Oh, so stupid. And then I was such an idiot as well, because I got in the car. I was just a little. I have verbal diarrhea at the best of times. I hate silence. I was sat there, and this bloke was really nice. He had a Northern Irish accent, and he was sort of chatting to me. But he just, what is it about Northern Irish accents that are just fucking scary?
Where are you?
Where are you? Are you here for the reunion, John?
You're in Dublin. That's southern, isn't it?
Yeah, but I think he had a Northern Irish accent.
Oh, right.
I think anyway, I'm pretty sure it was. And get in the car, and then I'm chatting away to him, and I said one of the stupidest things I've ever said. My mate is from Ireland originally, well, his family are, and his grandfather was in the police. I'm not going to mention any names for obvious reasons, but he was in the police back in all the troubles and stuff. And I said to the taxi driver, I was like, "Oh no, I used to stay in Armagh." Which is up in Northern Ireland, and I used to stay with my friend's uncle who was in the police, and they say you don't stand next to the walls in Ireland, you stand next to the windows because they're bulletproof. And then you know, I was like, as soon as I said it, I was like, why the fuck have I just told him, this bloke, that I staying with a policeman in Northern Ireland where all the troubles were? Like, I'm now going to get murdered. Great, so I'm sat in his car, and he's like, you English haven't got a clue. I'm like, fuck. So I get into Ballymun, and my phone, for some reason, I didn't have data roaming or anything, so I had no signal either. So I was like, I'm going to die. I've done this to myself. And I had to Facebook. I got into the hotel and the Wi-Fi, and I Facebooked my manager at the time, and I sort of rang him and I said, mate, what the fuck have I done? He was like, and I told him all about it, and the people in the hotel were really nice, but they were really shocked to see an English person, and everyone was telling me just not to go. I was like I was going to walk around the fucking square with us St George's or something, do you know what I mean? Like, just singing like
the shield.
Yeah, it's like, fuck me. And it was a couple of days after Brexit that went through.
Ah, right, okay, so they hated us anyway.
Yeah.
I've had a similar kind of thing where you end up in a ropey place, actually. One in New York was when we got in the taxi at JFK, and they go, I go, to Harlem, please. I didn't know much about New York, and the guy goes, are you sure, man? I was like, yeah, I'm staying in Harlem. He goes, oh, you're staying in Harlem? Are you, okay.
You stayed in Harlem?
Yeah, and that was it.
I mean, I've seen enough films to know that's
the Airbnb, and I was like, fucking bargain. There was a reason. Mate, to be honest, we got there, lovely, such a vibe.
If you ignore the bodies, fine.
Yeah. Only heard 3 gunshots. I wish I was lying. Genuinely only heard 3 gunshots.
Did you actually hear 3 gunshots? Did you?
Yeah. But it was like a reasonable, the street looked alright and stuff like that, and then it was actually a good vibe. Like, we got there, and in the mornings we'd kind of get up and go to like the corner shop and get like an egg bagel.
An egg roll?
Like an egg roll, yeah, or an egg bagel, or like a cheesy egg bagel.
Eggnog.
And it was, and then we get that, and we go and sit in like the local park where the basketball courts was, and the kids were playing and shit, and then like this guy would just wheel a boombox speaker into the middle, and like everyone would just get up and start vibing. I was like, this is sick, you know?
Yeah.
Now, obviously then someone got sniped. No, I'm joking. And I actually didn't, I felt nothing but welcome there. Like, everyone was really nice. And my mates, they wanted to pick up some, I'm going to say cannabis.
Right.
It's not even that bad. I didn't have any. Don't do that stuff.
Right.
Body's a temple and all. And so we're driving down this road. The taxi driver's like, I know where to get you at.
So this is an Ibiza.
It's always weird when the taxi driver goes, I know where to get you at.
Yeah.
Because it's like, what's this ring? What's this circle?
Yeah.
Where's this taxi ferrying people? And we drive down this dirt alley, pitch black. I look at my phone, no signal. And oh, fuck, I said his name. My mate looks back at me and goes, you know, wide eyes. He's like, fuck, what's going on? I'm like, oh my God. I looked at the mate next to me. He's like, God. And then there's like a decapitated boat and like railings and like this old chateau. No like light at all. And I undo my seatbelt quietly, and I'm like, oh my God, this is going to happen. And this guy comes up to the car. I've got my hand on the door, and I'm like, I'm ready to run. I'm ready to absolutely run. And this has happened too many times, mate, in bloody foreign countries. Where it's just, and it's always, why is it amplified just because you're in a strange country? Do you know what I mean?
It's alien, isn't it?
Why is it?
Yeah, I don't know.
And also, it's like pickpocketing. Why am I way more conscious of pickpockets abroad than I am here? Do you know what I mean? There's just as many scroungy people in the UK as there are any other country.
Yeah.
Especially in Europe. But in Europe, you're like, watch out for them pickpocketers. They'll go and get... This isn't... You've got to pick up... It's not Oliver Twist, is it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
They're just like... It's just such a weird thing to be aware of.
Also, with taxi drivers, do you think that abroad... I don't know, they always seem fucking mental, like the way they drive. Yeah. But I don't know, it's just because it's on the opposite side of the road and you're freaking out.
And they want to make themselves look really comfortable.
They're just fucking absolutely belted. I mean, when we went to Prague, that taxi driver, I've been on less Aggie roller coasters, it was fucking nuts. He was swerving in and out.
Yeah, mate, they love to like just be like, it's like they're trying to scare you out of the country. Like, fuck off back. No, take me back, take me home.
I went to a restaurant in Budapest as well, and really nice restaurant, actually. Quite good value and stuff. It's really, really nice. But looking at the menu, and there was like, it was the top 2 things. It was foie gras, and then it was, I can't remember what it's called, but it was like carbs hooves.
Nice.
I was like, something. What is this?
When I'm thinking of cuisine I'd like to have.
It's like honestly, would you like force-fed goose, or would you like baby cow's feet?
I'm looking at a cow in the field, and I'm like, that's a good-looking cow. That.
Oh, I'd murder a hoof. Oh, what the fuck is wrong? Honestly, I was like, this is savage. But they're so nice. They're like, we did foie gras. That's been a tortured animal.
I hope they do that after death. Christ.
Oh, so bad.
Cutting off a hoof.
So wrong with that.
That is not. Brits abroad as well, mate.
What was it about hangovers as well? I don't feel hangovers when I'm abroad.
Yeah,
they're different, aren't they?
Yeah, they are different.
Like way different. I mean, you can get absolutely plastered.
Depends on the sun, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And I think the energy's there. Like it's a lot of placebo effects, isn't it? Hangovers. You wake up in your own home and you think, I can just mog out today.
Yeah.
But like you wake up on holiday, you're like, I don't want to waste the day.
Yeah.
I don't want to waste the day.
Probably when you mill it over, it gets
you
worse.
want to like see things and. Like I just said, Brits abroad, especially in Spain, they're a pandemic, aren't they? And it makes me, when I see like,
it's embarrassing,
when there's like a British family who are like loud and obnoxious, and I'm like, oh my god. So sometimes I debate putting on an accent and just pretending that I'm not from the same country. It
is embarrassing. Yeah, no, exactly. And also, it's obviously not for everywhere, but when I went to Poland, I realised how much healthier everyone is.
Yeah. Oh my god!
The fuck?
Like the French look down on us.
It is insane. Like so when obviously I did a bit of a recce in the morning to try and find some food, and there's me just like, I want a fucking Ginsters. Just something. I just want something. I just want to get out some horrible food
like
in the morning.
Fucking sun-dried tomatoes.
Yeah, it was like I went into it was like delicatessen. It was all like fish and stuff. I noticed this is like. Everyone looked like really, they looked really nice. Yeah, like porcelain.
Yeah.
And then, but the contrast from getting to the airport in Poland, and then when I got back to Leeds, Bradford in the UK, and everyone stood outside smoking, it was like, it was fucking horrible.
Like you were sitting at a restaurant, you order all this stuff on the menu, and then there'd be French people like, and they wonder why they have heart attacks. Yeah. Just be scranning 8 burgers and fucking. It is just grotesque.
I quite like the so I got absolutely mugged by the Lucky people in
Lucky?
I think it's Lucky.
It's Lucky, mate.
Oh shit.
Oh, they're so lucky.
I didn't know that.
Goodbye, life. Very nice.
I went to when I was in Budapest. This woman came over to me with these sunglasses, and I love that they always change it. It's like Ray-Barneys, not Ray-Bans.
It's like Lidl with Mars bars. When they call it like planets or something.
But like no, it's like Ray-Barneys, and it was like I bought I was a bit. I was a few pints deep. So this woman came over. I needed some sunglasses. I was fucking full on squint eastward for most of the holiday. I was like, and then she came over and she had these like pair. They look like Ray-Bans, to be fair. I was like, fuck it, I'll pay 25 quid for these. Sound no worries. Give her 25 quid of what the equivalent was that in whatever the currency is. And
doesn't matter.
And then they got broken. And then like half an hour later, the same woman came over to me and offered me with the same pair for like £5. I was fucking raging.
She's done the rounds to so many people. She's come around again.
Absolutely raging. I know, but the thing is, she'd sell me a pair of sunglasses. She'd just keep coming back trying to sell me more sunglasses. I mean, I asked for it, but I bought some aftershave as well, and I didn't read it properly. And it was 1 billion.
It's even better.
You're supposed to I was like, it's stronger. 1 billion, and they're like Dolce and Banana, lovely. It's all these like weird brands that aren't quite there. I was like, I'm a bargain.
Lucky men is a hit or miss situation. In Barcelona, I actually had a great. Like, it's the Lucky men were like they were sick. Like they had a.
Why is it Lucky?
Because they're looky here, look at this. I think it is. That might be me.
I can't believe it. I thought it was Lucky.
But they'll be on a bridge and they'll just kind of sit there with their blankets out and all their stuff.
Yeah.
And they'll just lay and they won't bother you and you just pass. And most people buy stuff because they're like, well, they're not pissing me off.
Yeah.
But in Barcelona, it was quite. Have you been?
No.
Really nice, but I went out. I stayed out a bit later on the strip. What's the main road called? Fuck, I can't remember. Irrelevant anyway. Las Rambles. And I was out a few beers deep, walking down looking for my mate. We couldn't find him, and me and my mate Ryan, we were like, oh god, what we did? And this prostitute just comes over and she's like, I'm not going to try and do a Spanish accent. She's like, you want to fuck? Yeah, you want to have a good time? You want to have sex? Right. I was like, no, thank you. All good here. Everything's fine. And she's like, come on, come back. I'll show you a good time. I'm like, I'm all good, thanks. Just looking for my mate. And she spits on me.
And she spat on you?
She spat on me. She
unprovoked? You just said no?
Like on my feet. And
what the fuck?
I looked at her and I went, what the fuck? And she goes, you like that?
No, she didn't. She did. That's amazing.
And I go, no. Like anyway, and then I just kind of walked off very swiftly. It felt very dangerous on Las Rambles at night. I won't lie to you. Constant people when you're a group of 3 lads as well, and there's constant people kind of going, you're a weed coffee shop, you want cocaine, come to us, like every second.
Oh, mate,
and I was like, mate, you need a different sales pitch because you're saying the same as everyone else. Come at me with something fresh and new, you know?
Sell it to me.
Yeah.
When we're you're right, in Prague, you can, honestly, in Budapest, every fucking corner, every single person, if you see there's four lads walking around, so there's like 6, 7 of us, but generally we've been out of a group of 4, all of us, and every fucking person that walked past us be like, do you want any cocaine? Do you want any good stuff? Do you want any good? Every single person, it was insane. Like you'd be like,
they know us well.
No, but like, some woman, you know, she's like an 80-year-old woman will walk past. You're like, I'm on. She's like, do you want any cocaine? You're like, what the fuck is wrong with you?
Everyone's trying to make a buck.
Yeah, it's insane.
It's weird. I don't find it in London a lot, or like any other kind of major cities.
Yeah, you do. If you get
on
out
a night out, you will. Yeah, true. But
mate,
like in the daytime, like they were coming to me in broad daylight. Like, no, I don't want a line in broad daylight, mate. Like, what am I? Like, I'm not fucking some sort of Wall Street nut job. Yeah. You know, mate. Speaking of hotels, an hour ago, when I went away recently in a hotel, man, I was sat there naked. I like to be comfortable, and it's always strangely warm in hotels, isn't it? Or like you whack the heating up, and I'll open the window just to take advantage of free heating. And I was sat there like naked, watching like fucking, I don't know, bloody Kung Fu Panda or something.
Really not doing yourself any favours here.
It's like midnight, you know, mate. Listen, it was comfy. I was chilling, and then just like a bloke walks into my room.
What?
Jen, mate. I was lucky I had that because I never put it on. The little latch with the chain.
Who was he?
I don't bloody know, mate.
Did you not ask?
Steve!
Come on in!
Yeah, and it was like a latch, you know, the latch with the chain. Never put it on, but I did this time, and thank fuck, because mate, he would have walked in and seen, well, probably nothing, because he was quite a distance away, and I'm not really packing. And I was just there, I was fucking naked on my bed, like, Christ alive! What is going on? And
Kung Fu Panda on the TV, box of Kleenex next to you.
Oh fuck! And he walks in and he goes, oh my god, sorry mate, wrong room. I just saw his nose, his snout through the door. He's like, his snout through the door. And I'm like, fucking hell. He's like, oh mate, they gave me a room for this key. I'm so sorry. I was like, stop talking, fuck off. Anyway, he walks down the hallway. I chuck my joggers on, and then I do like 10 press ups to pump myself up a bit. And I come out a bit. And I'm joking, I did not do that. And I come out and I'm like, what the fuck's going on, mate? He goes, mate, they gave me a key for your room. And I'm like, bro, I was naked watching Kung Fu Panda.
Did you just tell him
admitted it, you know? Yeah, straight up admitted that as well. And he was like, oh, sorry, mate. And I'm like, I get back into my room. I'm like, that's really pissed me off, actually. Like, what you got one job.
Just imagine your hands on your hips, just bollock naked,
like,
Kung Fu Panda on the TV.
Do I Karen this at the moment? Do I do it? Do I go downstairs and talk to the manager? And I did it, mate. I went straight down.
Really?
And I went down and I went, what's going on? The guy was at the desk, like, you've just sent me into a room with somebody in. And she was like behind the desk laughing as I walk in. And she's like, and I go, what's going on? They go, oh my god, are you room 21? And I go, yeah. There you go. They go, oh my god, did you just walk into your room? I went, yeah. She goes, was it embarrassing?
A little bit. Slightly aroused, but...
I went, oh mate, I did flip. I just went, what the fuck are you on about? Of course it was embarrassing. How can you let this happen? Like, this is one job. Yeah, I did, mate. I was wound up. Like, I was half asleep. Someone walks into your room. Like, I was wound up.
I never complain, really, but like, I literally think about on a handful of times I've actually physically complained. But like, the one time I complained was actually in Morrison's, and hands on the table now. I rate a Morrison's breakfast. I like them. The cheaper
breakfast?
The cheaper the sausages, the better, in my opinion. Cheaper the better.
Yeah.
You get all these sausages, they're like pork and apple and stuff. No, give me something that says made in China on it. That's the sausage I want, you know. I want it absolutely nasty.
Like where they put anus, eyes,
everything.
All of it into it.
Fucking get out. The more anus, the better. Yeah.
Slid it into a nice little Johnny.
I'm done. Yeah, but I remember I was in a Morrison's and I sat down there. And it was busy, fair enough, but the food was like the table was like a mosaic. It was just plastered on shit, and this shit wasn't like fresh stuff. It'd been on there, it must have been on for a few hours, like beans that you had to like chisel off the table. It's fucking gross. Anyway, so I sat down there to go get my knife and fork. Got the knife and fork out. Knife and fork looked like someone had just had it up their ass for the last half an hour. It was horrible. I was like, great, so I got some vinegar and I sat there being all like polishing it all off. I was like, this is fucking gross. Anyway, so I ordered my food.
They just start handing you the rest of the cut to do with as well. You got a free chat? Yeah. Just scrubbing all the cuts.
I scrubbed it off and I sat there like, fine, I just sat there and I was like, fuck it, I can deal with a messy table, whatever.
Yeah.
I sat there, there's like fucking food all over the floor, it's gross. Anyway, and now I've got like a beeline view to the kitchen. There's a bloke in there and he's fucking cooking up and he's like fucking doing all this and he had
like Cookie from Matilda.
He was fucking gross, and he started eating as well.
So he was just like eating from the spoon, and then
well, not from the spoon. He was like picking bits of bacon and stuff. But so I went to the manager and I actually complained about it. But that's the only time, really. Actually, the only other time as well online, get a little bit trolly.
Oh, well, Nick complains about food. She will do it. Like, and I hate doing it. Like if I've ordered like a chicken burger, chips, and a lovely side of coleslaw, and they give me a spring salad, I'll eat it. Really? Do you know what I mean? I will not complain about food. I don't know why. I'll complain about other things.
Yeah, but it's just like...
There's like a line with food where you won't complain. Why am I so scared to complain about food?
Is this with... Yeah, but is this... Are you talking about like from a restaurant or something?
Yeah.
Yeah, oh no, I agree. I think if it's not up to scratch, then why not complain? But
I agree, but I don't know why. I think most people wouldn't. Because... I think it's because of the environment and how it's a closed environment, and like people next to you will like be like, he's complaining about his food. What a cunt!
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's always that chance your food's getting pissed in as soon as you've complained as well.
Yeah. All right. Well, that's the end of episode 5 to do with holidays. We're not doing last orders today. It's a Saturday. We both got better things to do. Thought we'd keep it brief. Maybe a little short episode. You might prefer short episodes. Yeah. You have a good time, Ted?
Yeah, good stuff. Yep. Gonna go nurse this hangover off and start again. Back on the horse.
Essentially, you're having a wank.
Yeah.
He's gonna nurse himself back to glory.
Nurse myself off.
Goodbye.
Bye.